when I first got started, we were broke. We had come out of a messy foreclosure situation. We lost our home, lost our business. It was a hot mess. And we were totally looking for plan B. We could care less about, I couldn't say we could care less, but our main focus was making extra money. Like the product that we were going to represent, hey, that's important. But we really just wanted a vehicle to get us to the finish line, wanted something that could help us get us out of the mess, right? So our primary focus was what it could do for us financially, right? And maybe you felt like that way yourself, like you were looking for something and this came along and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. If this really works, could you imagine what's possible? And so let's just think about it. If that's how you felt, that's how I felt, then why don't we share that with our prospects? Why do we get so focused on what's in the kit, what's in the pack, what they're getting, that we don't focus on what it can do for them in their life? Because that's really what they're buying. They're buying the possibility of what could happen. They are buying the potential that, hey, if they put their $500 on the line, $600, $1,000 on the line, that this could be something that could multiply into a great income stream for them and their family. And so, knowing that we know now, right? Knowing that, hey, we're going to represent what we have, but we are going to talk so much about how it's going to help them change their life. We're going to really help them buy into the possibility of what it could do for them. Knowing that we know that now, what could we do different the next time we're doing a one-on-one, the next time we're doing a home party, the next time you're doing a three-way call? What can we do different? Well, the first thing that we have to do is we have to focus on stirring the emotion. It's the emotion that people will buy into. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, facts tell, but stories sell, right? So it's about getting the person emotionally involved so that they are able to see this playing out in their life, see it, see themselves in that picture, if you know what I'm talking about. And so how can we do that? How can we stir the emotion? How can we get them, painted in the luxury car that they're going to drive off with their company, or maybe winning one of the free trips? How can we do that? So there's two things that I know of that work really, really well, okay? So number one is sharing stories. Stories are the key to really getting people involved. They're the key to really seeing, allowing people to see themselves in that picture. Like, when you think about what happened in your own life, if you got started and got started on the product or got started with your company and, your goal was, hey man, if you could just make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month. You got in, you started doing it part-time. Within the first 6 weeks, you made your first $1,000, $1,200, whatever it was. And now here we are, 3 months into it, 6 months into it, and this is what's happened in your life. Sharing stories about yourself. Now, if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm new, I don't really have my own income testimony just yet, what do? Share other people's stories. Share other people in your company, other people in our profession, other people that are in your line of sponsorship, leaders that you are working with. If you have leaders in your organization and you can share their story and then put that prospect on the phone for a three-way call, do you know how powerful that is? So sharing stories are so, so very valuable. I remember we have a gentleman, he's in our organization, awesome guy, super fun, super outgoing. And you know what? He was working as a metal grinder for a long time. Like years he was doing that. He saw this. He caught the vision. He's like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to do this. This is going to be a part-time thing that's going to help get me free. And you know what? He was a man of his word. He got out there and he shared this with the people that he knew. And before you knew it, it was taking off. After 10 months of doing this part-time, he was making 5 times what he was making at his day job. So, he had to call his boss and say, I'm calling in I'm not coming in anymore because I'm going to retire. My little part-time business has taken over and, I'm giving my 2-week notice kind of thing. And so when you think about the stories that you have in your repertoire, the people that you know, the leaders that are in your company, the people that have changed their life financially, you want to kind of share that with your prospects so that they can see this happening for themselves. Okay, that's the first thing. And if you're going to share your own story, a great way to do it is, kind of this little formula. Prior to getting started, this is what was going on. Then I found the answer, your company, right? And then, here's what's happened. So prior, then I found it. Then here's the kind of results that I've seen in my life. So that's just a quick 101 on stories for you sharing your own testimony. Because sometimes people are like, I don't really know what to say, how to get it across so that it's powerful when it comes to your prospect. The second thing that I know that works really, really effective is painting word pictures, okay? What is a word picture? It's basically where you describe something that can happen for your prospect, and you're doing it in a lot of detail. You're using the senses, whether you're using touch, whether you're using sight, whether you're using smell, whether you're using things that are going on. So for example, you could say something like this. You know what? I know 3 months from now, you're gonna look back on this night and you're gonna be so happy because now you're in a spot where instead of waking up to the alarm clock every day, instead of turning over and having to get out of bed and go see your boss at work, you have that little extra freedom. You got some extra money coming in. When you mosey out in the morning to get the paper and you're gonna sit down and drink your coffee, you look in the driveway, and as you look, you see a black, shiny, gorgeous Mercedes-Benz that your part-time business has paid for. You go on inside, you sit down, and you take a deep breath because you know what? You know you have that peace of mind that you have extra money coming in, and you have something that's gonna change things for you and your family for the long run. Something like that. That's like a little example of a word picture. Now you can use a word picture where you kind of cast the vision for the future, and you tell them what's possible, or you could use a word picture where you talk about like the negative, like, man, like if somebody doesn't want, like if they're like, not tonight, I need to think about it, I'm not ready to get started. You can do a negative word picture, right? So you can say something like, you know, the next Friday, when next Friday comes around and you go into work and you get that paycheck, you open up the envelope, rip it off, you pull out that check, you rub that check between your thumb and your forefinger and you look down at it and you just say to yourself, you know what, is this really all I'm worth? Or is there something else I could do with my time that would pay me more? And if you ever have that thought, remember to give us a call because we will be here to help you get started in creating something that can get you free for you and your family. So that's another example of a word picture. So you can use it in the positive, you can use it in like the negative where it's almost kind of like it jabs them, right? And they're like, I do need to call you. So however you use it, but those are the two main things that I know that if you can focus on the thing that matters most to people, people are gonna want your product, they're gonna want your service, they're gonna wanna get started, but the main thing that they're looking for is what this is going to do for them. So if you can do your very best at casting the vision for them, whether it's through sharing stories, whether it's through painting word pictures, whether it's helping them just see themselves in the situation, see themselves, you know, getting an extra $500 or $1,000 a month, see themselves winning the next free trip, right? Things like that will help your prospect come to a yes decision faster, and you will get more signups. So if you're out there and you are doing your thing this weekend, showing the plan, doing some parties, doing some events, remember this the next time that you get in front of a prospect. Use these tips because they will help you get more people to say yes for what you have. So guys, I hope this was helpful. And you know, if it was, feel free to share, pass it along. One of the things that I know a lot of people go through, a lot of people are dealing with, especially right now, is we have these dreams, we have these goals, we have these ambitions, but like, how do we get there faster? How do we get to the finish line? If you're thinking about your next company event, your next company convention, you know what it's like, right? Like, you know the accolades that people receive when they get paraded across stage, when the owner of the company is, you know, declaring their name from the front and they're edifying them and they're saying so much amazing things about them and their team is cheering for them. You know what that's like because you've been there, you've sat in the seats, and I know probably deep in your heart, you're like, man, I want that to be me. I want to be ranking up. I want to be getting to the next level. I want to be helping people change their lives and really make a difference in this world. And if that's you and you're like ready to finally cut through the nonsense, cut through the lack of clarity, cut through, you know, anything that's been holding you back and you're ready to get to the finish line, then I have something that will help you. If you click on the link that's listed here in the description, you're gonna get my 10 steps. And these 10 steps will help you to clear out the things from the past that have been holding you back and give you a clear path for the future moving forward so that you can, next company convention, see yourself up on that stage and see all the people that you've helped in the process. So click on the link there. It's my free gift to you. It's an extra bonus training. Other than that, take care, my friends. If this has been helpful, if this has added value, drop a comment in the comment section. So I'd love to get your feedback, love to hear how this has, you know, impacted you or your thoughts on this. And that is it. So take care, my friends. Be blessed, and I'll see y'all next time. For more great training and to receive your free bonus training, the 10-step process for getting out of your own way and finally rank advancing. Visit summergeronimo.com.